Shalom, YouTube. This is Sister T, and welcome again to The Rock. I'm sorry, it's kind of cold out here, but today I just wanted to come talk about a couple ideas when it comes to loving our neighbor as Messiah loved the church and as loving our neighbors as ourselves, and how we have turned loving our neighbor into using and abusing our neighbor. I'm not going to be able to explain everything I'm talking about in one video, so likely I will have a part 2, but I'm going to talk about first loving our neighbor or loving our brothers and sister. I'm talking about it sister to sister first, loving them and not abusing them, and how easily we fall into the trap of we're supposed to love each other and immediately we really use each other. And I'll talk about that more later. I'll go into the topic in just a moment. I'll be back. Shalom, YouTube. Okay, I am back, sisters. I am in the car, as you can see, because it is cold, and plus I needed a moment to actually talk about what I need to talk about. Like I said, I'm going to put it in a 2-part video because it's too much information to put in one. And although the topics are related, I'm talking about 2 different ideas. And outside it is cold. We already are burning our wood burning stove, and it is fall, but it's pretty cold, and it's been raining on top of that for the past few days. So when I'm done with my work, I'm looking forward to being in a house heated by the wood burning stove because it's pretty warm in there. So, but anyways, that's beside the point. I'm going to talk about first the relationship between sister and sister. I was inspired to do this particular video watching my master over the past few weeks and the information that he's been trying to share with the YouTube audience, and also brethren that he fellowship with or talk to outside of the channel. And also I spoke to one of my sisters, and we were doing our catch up time, and we were talking about some things, and just the experience of being burnt out and why. And I thought the information was so good, so I wanted to share it and just bring this maybe to the light if it has not been brought to the light already. And it's the idea of using each other. For some reason, in organized religion and in the faith, and we use each other and we take advantage of each other more than we love on each other, and do things out of love. When someone is taking time to do a video, when someone's taking time to take a phone call, when someone's taking time to talk with you about, your marital problems, when someone's taking time to give you information on anything, that is time that they are taking away from something else. Sometimes this information is information that they have had to seek out for themselves, that they took time to seek out for themselves. And they put time, effort, and energy. And you can use someone, and it cannot be done, for financial gain, although it can be. It don't have to be always financially related. You know what I mean? You can use and abuse a person's time just by them sowing into you, and for you not to either use the information, or if you know that you're going to do what you want to do anyway, by you taking up their time to keep coming back, asking for more, and never doing anything with the information. And then the last part is not remembering to show some sort of appreciation for what these people are doing for you, and not sewing back into the person. So before anyone has to say anything, I'll be the first to say that I am myself guilty of this. I've had a particular sister that I know I've had to apologize to and let her know this myself, that has given me information over the years. And there was a time, for a long time, that I have spoken to this sister, and she has given me information that I didn't use. I will go to her. I will ask her questions about what should I do about this. She will break down the information. She will tell me what I've done, and say, hey, use it the way that it will help you and it will benefit you. And sometimes I forgot about it, to be honest. Sometimes I used it and it didn't work. And it may not have not worked because it just didn't work. It's just that some things you have to use it in a way that will benefit you, not use it in a way that benefited them, because our situations were similar, but they are not the same, and we are not the same people. Sometimes I didn't give it time to work. I can go on and on about why the information may have not worked, but I was in the wrong. If I wasn't going to use this information, if I was going to forget about the information, then why am I wasting this person's time asking question after question, information after information, just to not use it, and then come back to her again to say, hey, I need more advice on this. And she gives me advice on that, and then I do not use it. And she sends me information, and I do not use it. And the next time she asks me about this information, I have no improvement. People spend time and energy on this information, on this thing. That time that you've taken up, and you were selfish because someone else could have used that information, and maybe they would have used it. I ask y'all to forgive me. I've asked my master to forgive me, and I have to say this too. The same thing happens in marriage. We take advantage of since I'm talking to women, we take advantage of our master's time, our husband's time. Our husband is sowing into us, just for us to not do anything with the information he's given us, or not use it, or we forget about it. And in that, we are abusing someone's time, energy, and efforts. And I am sad even saying that. So I've been guilty of doing it to a sister. I've been guilty of doing it to my master. I don't think we realize how often that this is done. And it's done on multiple levels. It's done in the church. It is done from teacher to student, in the church format, in a faith format, in that way too. It is done in marriages. It is done in friendships. Instead of us loving each other enough to give, and then when someone's given to us, we also have something to give them as well. We just use people. And after a while, people are going to feel all used up. And they're going to get to the point where say, I have nothing else to give you or to offer you. You ain't going to do anything with it. You ain't going to grow from it. You're wasting my time. And people do get burnt out. And then on another level, I myself have experienced the same thing that I've done. I have experienced that myself, to where because of the calling that my master have on his life, automatically as his wife means that I have a calling to do things as well. Someone's in the background. I'm sorry, y'all. And I was like, what is that? Who is that? Wait a minute. And so I'm sorry if I look lost. I did not see our son in the background. I'm sorry. Anyways, but I have a responsibility as well. And for years, I was still learning when I came this way. And I didn't have no one to teach me. And so a lot of times I was experiencing sharing with you all, or sharing with people, my trial and errors, so they do not make the same mistakes. And I've had people call, text, email, can we talk to Sister T about this? Can we talk to Sister T about that? And of course, I am joyed and happy and excited. Like, okay, yeah, cool. I can talk to you about that, because I really wanted to help people. And I don't want people to have a bad marriage. I don't want people to struggle the way I have struggled. Nothing like that. And I've gotten on the phone, and I've answered text messages, I've answered emails, and I've done all of that. And I've gotten on the phone just to spend an hour or two, sometimes even more. Sometimes I had to put off things that I really needed to do, and my master did allow, just to talk to people. And I've talked to people, and and I'm sewing into them. I'm giving them my examples, experiences, what I've been through, my successes, my failures, all of that. And I try to be as transparent. Especially, I'm even more transparent when I'm speaking to people personally. And I'll give them information. So, because I want them to know the full, whatever the topic is, if I have any information on it, I want to give them all that is needed and necessary for them to make a change, for them to grow, for them to do whatever it is that needs to be done. And I started to experience burnout, because I, too, while I'm giving information, I needed information. I needed help. I needed someone to sow into me, because I was still in a place of I needed to grow, and I still needed help myself. And sometimes I felt not appreciated. Sometimes I felt that I was getting on the phone and answering emails just for the same people to have the exact same problems over and over and over again. And when I asked about the information, just like I've done, guilty the same, I've done the same thing. I hear, oh, well, I didn't do that because of this, or I totally forgot you said that, or just like, all sorts of reasons. And I do understand, that, people need to chew up the meat, spit out the bone, or not all things work for people, if you take up somebody's time and you don't do anything with it, that's your prerogative. But then you can't continue to go back to the person, and not expect that they will be burnt out eventually. And secondly, if you're going to go to someone and they are open to help you, praise Yah. But don't think that it's a one-way relationship, that person may not need a help of some type. Sometimes you have to consider who you're talking to and what do they need? Do they have a need? Do you love them enough to help meet their need, a need that you can meet as a sister? Whether it be words of advice, whether you just call sometime to just encourage them, like, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Whatever. Sometimes, and sisters, we are women in general. We're more emotional. Men, they handle things differently, but women like things like someone calling you just to encourage you, or someone checking on you or remembering something important that's important to you, and someone remembering it and acknowledging it. Sometimes we like something simple, like someone calling you and saying, hey, are you okay? And how are you doing? And I'm thinking about you. Sometimes we like those sort of things, especially if you're giving of yourself. Sometimes you need that, because sometimes you are in a bad place, or maybe you're in a struggling place in your life, and you want to know that someone is also considering you. Instead, what we do a lot of times is we just use each other. We call people when we want something. When we call to say hi, it's not just because we want to say hi. It's because we want something. We deal with each other in just a very unauthentic, loving way. It is not true love like the Bible defines love when we're dealing with each other. And so I wanted to bring this out. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to just bring and shed light on that. And we're going to have a relationship. If anyone's going to have a relationship with anyone, especially in the faith, Yah tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves. He does not say to abuse their time, their energy, their efforts. And he doesn't say have a one-way relationship. If you're going to have a relationship with a sister, as you are pulling from somebody, make sure you're giving. As you're receiving information, make sure that you are helping them in a way that they can be helped. And help does not always have to be the exact same way for every person. And I'm going to end it on this note. Help is not always the same for every person. I know for a long time that we were not like financially, we had finances, but we were not just flowing with finances. And we wanted to help people, but financially was not the area that we were able to help people. We just was not in that place. And sometimes there are people in a place where they help financially. If that's you, cool. But other times, if you can't help financially, Yah has gifted all of us with something to help people, to bless other people. Like I said, my master's using his YouTube channel to do that in a way that he can help people. You can do that with encouragement. You can do that with just knowledge, sharing knowledge and wisdom and understanding on any topic that a person may need in their life. We have a brother and sister who've come over to the Rock, who have helped my master, who taught my master how to better do solar. My master learned on his own, but there were certain things that he did not know that he learned. He learned how to do some electrical work from a brother. And you know how blessed we are from that? Like, we are still doing things with that electrical work. Well, I ain't still doing it. Master's still using that electrical knowledge to this day, and it is benefiting our family to this day, just by this brother taking the time to show our master how to do this electrical work. Our master knew some electrical things, but he didn't know it all. And this brother have come out and shown him this. Another brother had come out and shown us how to cut a tree when it's bigger, a bigger size tree properly. And I mean, there's ways that you can help. And sometimes people are just concerned. They'll ask, and then they think, well, if I don't have any money, then I can't help. You can. If you have any sort of knowledge, wisdom, understanding on anything that a person is doing, then sow that into them, show them, help them, teach them. If you have a moment where you can show them how to do something that they're trying to learn how to do, that is still helpful because it's going to benefit their family. And then likewise, they should be benefiting you in the best way that they can. And then people will not feel burned out. They will not feel like they're just being used all up. Because if you are asking, but then you don't give back, they're going to feel used all up. And then we become bitter, and then we're not going to want to help. And then, it's all these behaviors that we shouldn't have. We will not have brotherly and sisterly love like we are commanded to do. It's going to become a burden instead of a blessing and a joy. And normally it starts off as a blessing and joy, but then it becomes a burden. So I just wanted to bring that out. I want to see what any other sisters have experienced, or if you've had this thought, or are you burnt out? Are you one that have burned somebody else out and you're like, I need to repent because I've done that. I understand there's really no judgment on my end. Like I said, I've been on both sides. I've been on the one burning people out. I've been on the other side where I've been burnt out. They both have happened. And I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing, to be honest. It just, things happen. You don't even realize that's what it is. And likely the same for others. But I wanted to bring it out because if somebody don't talk about it, we will just continue doing that sort of thing. Just because we're in the faith or any organized religion, the Bible says don't wear out the patience of the saints. We have to be aware of what we are doing to others when we're having a relationship with them of any sort of any type. Tell me what you think about this video. Put your comments in the comment section. I will read them. I will respond. If you have any situations you want to talk about, please put in the comment section. If you have any questions, put in the comment section. Because I love hearing y'all responses. I love reading what you all have to say about these topics. And let me know what you think. I will be back for a part 2. So stay tuned. Shalom.